Hi guys, welcome back. So another Cricut card. You guys know at the moment, if you've been watching recently, that I'm in a Cricut obsession mode. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but that's what I'm in. So I've got my stamp sets, I've got my little birdie, I've been making some birthday cards, which I think we all need. So I will put this little guy together in a second. It's just pop her to one side, and then this is going to be even easier. I have a card base which is 8.5 by 4, no, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25, and this is just like a pale blue. It's not the same blue as in there, but it coordinates. And then I have a piece of black textured cardstock. It's just what I have, and this one I believe is 5 by 3.75, so it's going to give a bigger border. I'm just going to get this on. I'm trying to do this real quick. It's going to give a bigger border of the blue, which is nice, makes for a nice change in a card. And this is very sticky uppy, but let's just go with it. Try and get this on here somewhat even-ish. It's sort of in the middle. And then this greeny colour piece, I think this is soft sea foam, Stampin' Up, I think, is about 3.5 by 4.75. So it's going to just sit in there. So this card's even easier than the last few we've done. There's no embossing, so if you haven't got an embossing folder, or you've never seen an embossing folder, or you don't like using embossing folders, you don't have to. You can still make a cute card just by using layers of cardstock in different colours, or you know, whatever. So you see how you've got just a bigger border, and that is a little off, but it's fine. And then I have the same colour, like purpley colour. I think this is Berry Burst. Actually, I think on the previous video I said Berry Burst. It wasn't Berry Burst, it was Fresh Fig. But this is Berry Burst Stampin' Up, and it's the same that I have on the that little dude. So I'm going to just pop this flush on the bottom there, because why not? I might leave a little gap, but basically I don't want because the cake is in the same colour, I don't want it to, oh, it's all over my desk now. I don't want the cake to overlap this, because you'll lose, you'll still see it, but you might lose a bit of that. So if I just put this flush with the bottom here, if I can. Ooh. Good enough. Cut it a bit short. And then we will let's get the stamp done, and then we'll put them together. So I've got my pink stamper, Punnylicious, again old school stamp set, but I love it, like so many things of old. And then I have archival jet black ink for the sentiment itself to stamp it. And this one says, "It's your birthday." I love a good pun. So somewhat straight, because, you know, perfection is overrated. Ta-da! And I obviously had an idea of where I was going to put all these things, so that's why I knew that that was where it was going to go. So that's the card base sort of done. Now let's put this little guy together so we can put it on the card. So there's a few pieces here that go together, so I'm just going to use some wet adhesive. I just figure this will be a lot easier you know, to use. So the little cupcake, and you can't see that really, but there's a little cupcake here. Now I thought this was a weird cut, because oh, this is from what is this? Oh, Three Birds on Parade. That's where it's from. I put way too much adhesive on here. Whoops. basically putting this together like a numpty. Right, let's get that off there. So the base piece is black, which I know is hard to see there, but, and that's good, because you want like the eyeball to be black, right, or you know, brown or a darker colour so you can see it. So that's fine. But what I didn't realise is that if I cut it out in brown, so she'd have a brown eye, the cake on the cupcake would be brown, not black. So you live and you learn. It was the first time I'd cut this little guy out, so I was like, well, we're just going to go with it because we can. So there is a certain order that you have to go in to get the layers on, right? So just play around with it before you actually stick them together, but obviously I knew what order they would be. So I'm getting the body of the bird on now, and I kind of use the edges to sort of push them together, and that just helps a bit. This cartridge has a little bit of like a black border, but, or like an edge, but I'm not worried about it. And then the wing, because he's holding his little cupcake, goes over the top of the, this is a weird angle, so I'm just got to make sure I get it in the right place. So it looks like he's holding the cupcake, and there's actually a little bit here. I'm gonna just add that on the tip there, so it looks like he's actually holding the little cupcake. How cute! And then we have the little beak, which just overlaps the like part of his body, this blue bit. So sweet. And the little legs. Let's just get those on, and then I will just lift it and make sure they're okay. Make sure his little legs are in the right place. And I think these more or less fit just underneath that blue cardstock. Oops. Isn't he sweet? And then of course he had to have a party hat, because ain't no party without a party hat. Right, so although there are guide cut lines, if you like this one here, which you can't see, sorry, I would work with the image itself, if that makes sense. So along the edges of the image, to make sure you get it as close to where it should be. The guidelines are, the guide cut lines are there for just that. They're just a guide. So yeah. So that's that dude. And then all we're going to do is stick him in place. How cute! I could have probably made him bigger and he could have gone that way, but this is cute. I'm going to go with it. So 9 million foam things later. And I do want one for the, like the cupcake. But I'll just cut my foam in half, and then I think I'm going to add a couple pieces for like the tail. Just a couple areas where it might be nicer to have a little bit more stability. That was a big word for me, but you know, I'm joking. And then just get all these little things off if I can. And then, hey presto, one cute little card. One cute little birthday card. And you can bling all the, like the hat and the icing and all that. You can bling it all up if you want to. I just think this is cute, and I also, because of his bum there, I didn't want that to be on this bit here, so he does look a little higher up, but this kind of looks like a bit of like carpet and wall maybe. I might move him down a little bit, but I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. I hope you're enjoying this little mini kind of like Cricut series. It's not really a series, but it's just what I'm in the mood for at the moment. So I hope you're enjoying it, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye for now.